Well, welcome to economics. This is our summer course 2022, and you'll see a tagline up there at the beginning. That's E244 WWW Summer 2022. I hope you use that in all of your emails to me as a subject because it'll mean I'll respond to them faster. I am Dr. Myers. I've spent 41 years on the regular faculty and recently retired just before the pandemic, so I think that was pretty good timing. Nevertheless, I still teach and am happy to offer this course for you, but I want to point out that this is a course in analysis, economic analysis. This is about solving problems, not memorizing stuff. If you have the remotest idea that this is a course like, yeah, some general studies courses, for example, and this does qualify for general studies, you might be here for that reason. But if some courses will three test, you do some reading, you do a little bit of work, and you're going to do okay. That's not this course. This course should be better compared to a course in calculus. Now, I say calculus because most of you are engineers and you'll relate to this, that if you get lost in calculus in the first chapter or two or three, you're lost for the course. This same thing is true in a course in economic analysis. We are here to learn tools which we use to apply to solve problems. And that is going to result in you learning a vocabulary and learning these principles and learning how to apply them. And of course, it's not easy. It's not hard, but it's not easy right out of the box. You got to get at it and do some practicing as you go along to make sure that you can succeed. So, with that, what I want to do is to get into the details of this class so that you can have an idea of what it is that you're facing for this term. One of the things about economics is that we solve problems and we tell stories. And our problem solving is this idea of analysis, which is both economic theory and economic data. And putting the two together, we then come up with trying to understand what's going on in the economy. Unlike many disciplines, we do not get excited about correlations. That is, two things that happen to go together. One does not prove that the other occurred. Economists are about correlation. I'm sorry, causation. We are trying to determine why things occur so that we can fully understand it. Because if you understand causation, then every time A happens, B is going to occur. And correlation, of course, is A happens and B happens, and look, they happened at the same time. But they don't mean that A causes B. We're concerned about that. Now, speaking about A's, this course is a very easy course in which to get an A, but it is not an easy A. Many students finish this class with A's, doing quite fine, but it's not going to come to you without work. Nevertheless, let's get into this and find out what's going on. First off, who am I? Well, some various pictures that might give you a hint. Do a lot in scouting. My wife and I very interested in scouting, the outdoors, exploring, and down there in the bottom you see one of my 8 grandkids. Kind of dated now. He's now a few years older than that. I blog at econdatascience.com, although I have not been keeping up very often out there. I do publish my thoughts and ideas at LinkedIn. I would encourage all of you to have a professional LinkedIn account for your own purposes. And if indeed you do, please add me. I am an economist that's powered by coffee, as you can see, and indeed I am a specialist using the SAS software. Now, you have 2 books to get. This is all described in the syllabus and also special entries in the Module 1 itself. Uh, I know Steve Greenlaw and Dave Shapiro. They write a very nice text here. And well, the big deal is it's free. The course was originally designed on a different text. That text, which I could still be using, is over $300 right now. So let me know what you're doing with your savings. Your book is free. The second book is by Henry Hazlitt. And Henry Hazlitt in 1946 wrote this book called Economics in One Lesson. And you'll see by its predecessor that it goes back to Frederick Bastiat in 1850 and even Adam Smith in 1776. But he writes in a way to distill down what is economics into not just one lesson, one sentence. So in chapter 1, you're going to need to read that and find that sentence and tear it apart and think about it. What is he saying? In chapter 2, you're going to learn about the broken window, and then you're going to read another chapter, and you're going to do all that in the first week. I'll be back to that in a second. This is a 100% online course. It was designed to be online. It was not forced by the pandemic. It's been around quite a bit. But because it's 100% online, there's no meetings required. However, we will meet virtually if your scores are low. More on that in a second. When you contact me, again, my second reminder to you, in the subject of the email, put 244 www.summer 2022. That way, with all of the scads and tons of email I get, yours is going to be captured into a folder. I'm going to see it. I'm going to respond. In fact, I will respond to every email you send me this term. Okay, at least most. And I would hope that you would respond to me as well. You're also going to contact me at least twice a week by required learning assessments. Those are forms that you'll come across that you'll be filling out, but they're emailed to me, and you'll get a copy of those learning assessments sent to you in your email, and I will respond to those. And we'll talk more about that as we get into this. Now, if we have to meet in something other than just, by email, we'll do it in MS Teams. There's a link in the course, and we'll do that by arrangement. I'm not going to sit around see if somebody shows up. But if you want to talk to me and you want to do it in a face-to-face, with or without cameras, just contact me. Let's set up a convenient time, and we'll do that. I may be contacting you to say I really need to talk to you because of this or that. Now, never use my office phone. Actually, I have a university office, which is kind of cool. I retired in 2020, but I still have the office. I've only used it once, and even then I didn't use the office phone. So I only put that here because don't call the university operator or look me up online to try to find my phone. You're not going to find me. Email me. That's the way to get in touch. Now, this course is available 24/7. It's designed in modules. Module 1 and 2A are due this week. In fact, there's a module due every Tuesday and every Friday. Now, most of the modules are based upon the book, starting in week 2, and those modules are going to cover the textbook Principles of Economics, and each module is going to cover 2 to 4 chapters for each one. Only 2 chapters in the beginning, but as we get to the latter chapters of the course, or latter modules of the course, there may be a few more put in there. Now, Module 2A is a writing assignment. You will write an essay. Again, you'll learn more about that in the course. And 7A I'm going to talk about here in a minute. That's also a writing assignment. Now, you can freeze this screen if you want. This is the same thing. It's in the syllabus. there's 155 points in the course. Here's where they come from, and you're welcome to spend time on this screen if you want. On this screen, we're talking about some of the pressure points. The first pressure point is that within 1 week, you're going to have 3 modules due. If you fall behind right away, it's going to be really hopeless to catch up. If not hopeless, really difficult. Then the other pressure point, number 2, is there's a module due every Tuesday and every Friday. And 3, modules 14, 15, and 16 are all due in the last week. There are no bonus modules. I don't know why I have that sentence there. There are a bonus or 2 in the course, but you'll find those as you work your way through. So get a good start, stay at it, and work ahead of deadlines so that you can kind of put time in the bank. If you can get a couple modules ahead and then you run into some trouble, you got a little bit of time to deal with that. Now, let's talk about the calendar for this course and your responsibility. First off, these dates are in this video, they're in the syllabus, they're in the course overview, and they're on the menu bar, and I'll show you that menu bar in just a second. Now, first week, there's your 2 assignments that are due. This is also the only week that we'll be using the Henry Hazlitt book. We'll not be using the Greenlaw and Shapiro book this week. So that's the first thing to point out. The second is every one of the graded modules, in fact, all the modules, have a due date. And Module 2B is due not on the first, but on the second Tuesday of this course. But there's also a closure date. And that's the date that this module will close, and you'll have no more access to it. In fact, if you don't do Module 2B by Saturday 18th, you'll get a 0, and the next module will open up and you'll have to finish it. Anyway, but that's not your date. That's for my convenience. You must get things done on the green dates, that is, on the due dates. Keeping the module open for a few extra days allows me to help you work through real problems if those come up. But notice that if we go to Module 2B closure date, you're already past the Module 3 due date. So there's not time to fall behind here. And again, fair warned. Now, on the menu bar, and if you look at the top of this screen, this looks exactly like the menu in the course because I copied it. There is important dates, and important dates will indeed be this calendar, and you'll get to this, so you'll be able to have it all the time. So there's due dates every Tuesday and Friday except for Module 7A. Module 7A is a little bit different. It occurs here in July, and in fact, it occurs over this week. In fact, it's very different from everything else. Now, before I go into this and tell you that there's 3 essays due, which might cause you to, panic, students tell me this is the best part of the course. But we're going to flip things on edge. Before you take a quiz, you do a lot of study and then you take a quiz, and the quiz tells you and I how you're doing, and that's your grade. That's not true here. In fact, 7A has 3 parts. The first part is a quiz due, and that quiz due you can't study for. There's no way you can study for it. You just take it. It comes out of current knowledge. It is not stuff that you've read in the first 9 modules, which have occurred up to this point. It's not directly economics, although it really is. It's not directly economics as far as your course is concerned. It's what do you know about topic number 1, which is world facts, topic number 2, which is USA facts, and topic number 3, which is the question of inequality. And what you're going to find out is you're going to score very poorly on those, but you're also going to learn immediately after that So does everyone else. And here's why. This is for you to be able to understand what's going on in economics, and the data that you hear, and separating opinion from fact. In fact, our opinions are so malformed by uh, the media and everyone else, politicians who, you know, people who think they know things, that you begin to accept them as fact. It's sort of like everybody knows that. Well, you're going to enjoy this module. So let's have a great term, and I will talk to you in the next video.